So, how did I get into tattooing? It's a little bit of a story. I was about 19. I saw someone doing tattoos in my neighborhood, and I thought I could do that. So, I went ahead, jumped on eBay, bought the cheapest tattoo kit I could find. Cost me about 70 bucks. When I got it, I called up a handful of my friends, had them come over, started tattooing them. Realized right away it was much more difficult than I expected. So I went up to the local tattoo shop, asked them, what does it take to get an apprenticeship? They were pretty rude with me, ended up telling me it would take $20,000 up front and that I would be apprenticing for at least a year. For the lack of a better term, I would be their maid at the shop. It was very unappealing, and I just genuinely didn't get a good vibe from the guys, and they were the only shop in town, so it pretty much shut that down. I ended up stopping tattooing for about a decade, started doing other jobs, just trying to make a good paycheck. Ended up going to technical college for automotive tech, was doing really well at that, and one day just realized I was genuinely unhappy. I talked to a family member of mine, and they asked me a question that changed my life. They said, what would you do if you didn't need money? And I thought, what a stupid question. We all need money. And I didn't even have an answer for them. I went home that night and I just couldn't shake the question. And I thought about it long and hard. And the only thing I could come up with was I would do my art. I've been an artist ever since I was old enough to hold a pencil. I've never needed money to do it. It's just been something that made me happy. And I thought, how could I make money with my art? I'm not really into computers. I don't think of myself as like a fine painter or anything like that. I just enjoy drawing for the most part. Tattooing kind of seemed like my only option to make a paycheck using my art. Plus, I thought tattoos were awesome, so why not try to do it again? I now live in Utah. I went to Salt Lake City, went to pretty much every tattoo shop out there, and got more or less the same story I did before. Couldn't find an apprenticeship. Luckily enough, a friend of mine posted a video on Facebook of a tattoo he had just done, and it was a full sleeve. It looked amazing. I immediately messaged him and was like, hey man, how do I do tattoos like that? You know, I need to learn the basics. He told me he was down to help me in any way he could. I took a trip back to California, which is where I'm originally from, and spent some time with him doing a tattoo apprenticeship. He showed me the fundamentals of tattooing, and it was a game changer. I went ahead, got to tattooing as quick as I could, again, tattooing friends of mine, and I realized this was definitely the job I wanted to do. It was a bit of a struggle for sure, as I didn't have clientele, and I had to do a part-time job at the same time of tattooing, which really divided my life. I realized that wasn't gonna last too long because all I wanted to do was tattoo. So one day I just had to go all in. So I grabbed my portfolio and went to the local tattoo shops. I got into one of them, started working, and long story short, I went in and out of a few different shops, ended up building up my clientele. 5 years later, I opened my own tattoo shop called Ink Mafia Tattoo Parlor. I've been tattooing out of my own tattoo shop for going on 3 years now, and let me tell you, it's been the best decision I ever made to pursue tattooing. I get asked all the time, what's your favorite style? If it's anime or video game related or sci-fi, it's probably gonna be something I enjoy tattooing. So if you want to get tattooed by me, just look me up on Facebook or Instagram at Ink Mafia Tattoo Parlor.